Bingo! I think I found exactly where every one of these Nikki Bellas attires came from. So, that took a while, but I think I got it now. On that note, I think your boy deserves a well-earned nap. Oh.
Wakey, wakey, hands off, Snakey. Mayor Aaron, were you dreaming again?
No? Yes. I can't help it, Co-Mayor Lex. I had to watch so many Nikki Bella entrances and matches, and I did so much research to find exactly where these attires were from. So I really can't help it.
Don't be a creep.
Oh no, it is not like that, Co-Mayor Lexa. You know that I have tremendous amount of respect for these women here in Lumberjoville. But I have to tell you, she is gorgeous, she is beautiful, but I admire all that she did in the ring, and she made great strides in her career. And in my opinion, she even had a small part to do with the evolution of the women's division.
Can you just start this figure history video?
Oh, yeah, right. Hey y'all, welcome to Lumberjoville. Today we're going to be covering the history of Nikki Bella figs. What? Co-Mayor Alexa does not have the same effect when I do the whole shirt rip thing?
Yeah, not even close.
Hey, to each their own. Anyways, the reason we're doing a Nikki Bella history video is we had a simulated WWE 2K20 tournament a few weeks back. Every Saturday night on the Lumberjoville YouTube, we stream live at 10 p.m. Eastern Time for Saturday Night Surge. We held the tournament, and Nikki Bella won the Queen of the Teen tournament. And by her winning the tournament, I made the stakes that I had to get every Nikki Bella Mattel figure and do a history video on it. So it's taken some time, especially with all the new releases that have came to me recently. But I'm excited to do this video. Hey, Co-Mayor Alexa.
What is it?
So the way these figure history videos work is I review each figure one-on-one individually, but I start with her first figure in the line and end with most recent. Also at the end, I do a top 10 ranking from my least favorite to favorite out of all the Nikki Bella figures. So that being said, let's dive into her debut figure. Battle Pack 15, released in 2012. The attire is from Raw on April 11th, 2011, where her sister Brie defeated Eve Torres to win the Divas title. So this was Nikki and Brie's first figures in the line, and I have to tell you, I think this is a stunning attire. I mean, given at this time the Battle Pack still had the women's basics that had elite articulation, and there's a lot of detail put into it. The Divas title that came with Brie and Nikki in this Battle Pack was just solid pink one with the crazy design. It's really large, but it kind of pops on display even if it's not accurate. Now taking a closer look at Nikki, this does resemble her quite a bit at the time. I really like the hair, how it's that straight mold, and this black attire is what I love. She has this almost suit-type top with a little white lace coming through, which is very accurate to the real-life attire. And moving her around, she has NB on her backside there, and thank God, because her and Nikki at this time, they used the twin magic gimmick, and they looked identical, and their figures looked identical. I mean, I stared at them before I took them out of the package, and I was like, uh-oh, because I do plan on doing a separate video for Brie. Now, moving on to her legs, what really makes this figure pop is look at all this detail in her lower leg attire here. So she wore these like little leg sleeves that have lace at the top, and then all these little ruffles that come off the back. The amount of detail in the mold that they put into this, and even the paint application, is great. So this is a great introduction figure to the line. And as you'll see later in the line with her figure releases, she starts to get her own unique look, but at this time, she was pretty much identical to Brie. Battle Pack 26, released in 2014, the attires from Raw on May 27, 2013, where her and her sister Brie defeated Natalya and Caitlyn in a tag match. So this red attire looks great, and in this Battle Pack, Nikki and Brie have identical attires once again, and it's very hard to tell them apart. And that's because at this time, like I mentioned in Battle Pack 15, they had that twin magic gimmick because they looked identical, so they kind of played the part. Now, further down the road, they would both get their own unique attires, and that's why eventually I'll do a history of Brie Bella figures. Now, looking closer at the accessory they come with, it's that Divas title once again. Except in Battle Pack 15, it was that bright pink, kind of a fun color to stand out. And this might be more accurate being gray, but it's just dull and boring. So I really have no purpose to display this. Looking at the figure, it looks great. We'll start from the bottom this time. And she once again has those leg sleeves with the lace molded at the top. And then the little ruffles in the back molded on. Except this time, instead of painted white with black, it's just pure red all over. So it's not as much detail or intricate paint as before, but it still looks good. And then moving on to her top, she does have that belly button issue, but it's so early in the line that we'll forgive it. And it's just a painted on attire with a little molding between the chest. And that's about it. Now, this face might be pretty generic and it might be very similar to Brie's, but I mean, they're freaking twins, so that's okay. And I think this face, it looks good, especially for the time. I mean, this is 2014, so I think this is definitely a cool Nikki Bella figure. And it does stand out being in that bright red and being in an identical attire as her sister Brie. I really do think this is a cool battle pack that really expresses their early career fine. Basic Series 52, released in 2015. This attire is most notable from SummerSlam 2014 on August 17th, where Nikki turned on Brie in Brie's match versus Stephanie McMahon, thus causing a heel turn for Nikki. This hat was most notably worn on Raw on September 22nd, 2014, in a segment where Brie smacked her in the face. So this was Nikki's first solo released figure, and this is when she really started to build her own personality and her own character. And it's important to note that she now has her own face scan that is very different than her sister's. So she's able to have a little accented personality. Now looking at this figure, it might not look like much from a distance because she does have minifigures in the future in the line that is in this red attire, but what makes it different are a couple things. Looking up close, it has Fearless Nikki painted on very nice with a black outline, and this black trim on the top is pretty unique too that you don't see on many of her figures in the future, and we'll show you. It's also got black laces painted across. She has little red bands painted on her arms. Moving around to her back, she has Bella O2 in black. Her bottoms are just a plain red with a black stripe on the side. Moving down to her very unique look that she started doing at this time was these high socks. On the left it says Fearless, on the right it says Nikki, and then these white shoes with black accents. Now what I think makes this figure really unique, and it's the only time in the line that she gets this, is this spiky black hat. So this symbolizes heel Nikki Bella to me because she wore this quite a bit in promos and whatnot when she was a heel at the time. So I think displaying her with that hat really makes the figure stand out, even if it's in that just basic red attire. Battle Pack 38, released in 2015. This attire is from the Royal Rumble 2015, taking place on January 25th, where Nikki and Brie defeated Paige and Natalya. Now, even though this isn't a battle pack with her sister Brie, this is very different and unique compared to her previous battle pack releases because this time Brie and Nikki each have their own distinct looks. Also, the Divas title that comes with them in this battle pack is the nicest one that they've got so far. It's got this dull, kind of shiny silver paint along with pink, and it's good for a basic style belt, so I think it looks great on display. Now, looking closer at that Nikki, we once again have that unique face scan, which in the long run, I'm not a big fan of, but at the time, because it was unique to her, I did support that. Her hat on this figure is just a plain black. Moving it to the front says Fearless with a red brim. And her attire as a whole is this lime green type color. But I have to be honest, it's probably my least favorite of all the attires, and I'll show you why. So looking up close, we have that Fearless Nikki, just like we had on our previous basic that we showed, except the detail's not as intricate as before. Also, turning her around, it just says Bella O2 in plain white. There's no black border or outline on it. Her bottoms are just a plain green with no design whatsoever. Her armband is nice. It's got the little Bella logo, and it's black. And then her socks, on the left it says Fearless, on the right it says Nikki. We're going to see that repeated time and time again. and her shoes are white with a black accent. So this is a cool battle pack because it's the first time that her and Brie were packaged together when they each had their own unique looks. However, it's not my favorite because I think the green attire just falls flat. Battle Pack 43, released in 2016. The attire is from Hell in a Cell 2015 on October 25th, where Charlotte defeated Nikki to retain the Divas Championship. This is also worn on Raw on October 26, 2015, where Team Bella, Nikki Brie, and Alicia Fox defeated Team PCB, Charlotte, Becky, and Paige. So in my opinion, this is my favorite battle pack of Nikki and Brie. They both have their distinct looks, and instead of coming with a Divas title, Nikki comes with her hat, and Brie comes with her little shirt as an accessory piece that clips around her waist. So it's nice to have their uniqueness. Now once again, we have that face scan I'm not too crazy about. I don't think it's the best in the world, but I do like that it is unique to Brie's at the time. And this one has bright red lipstick, which really pops. The hat that she comes with is just a plain black with a red brim. Now, what really sticks out to me is this white attire. It is awesome, and it is highly detailed. And if you look closer at it, what really makes it pop is they have this off black type color. I don't know what to call it exactly, but basically it gives it appearance that it's that see-through mesh type material. And they use it on her top all the way, and then on her bottoms on the side. Also, it has nice little accents of these little white dots along with black. And she has this fearless black band on the bottom half of her top. And on the bottom, she has the Bella logo, which is cool. Now, her socks, once again, left one says fearless, right one says Nikki. And this time, her shoes are just a plain white. So, honestly, as far as battle packs go, this is my favorite of her and Brie. And as a whole, this Nikki figure, to me, rules. And the attire looks great. And they did such a great job of making that see-through mesh type material appearance just through paint application. WrestleMania 34 Battle Pack with John Cena, released in 2017. The attire is from WrestleMania 33 on April 2nd, 2017, where John Cena and Nikki defeated The Miz and Maurice. Now this is most iconic and notable for after the match when Cena proposed to Nikki. So yes, this is that iconic attire from the night that John Cena proposed to Nikki Bella. Ugh, a little awkward now, it's kind of sad, but either way it's a moment in time and definitely a WrestleMania moment. Now, this to me is not that great of a figure, and it's basically a dulled-down version of her Basic 52. Now, in that Basic 52, she had that spiky hat, and this time she has a red one, with a black strap, a black bill, and it says Stay Fearless this time. But everything else is pretty similar. That face scan is once again that unique one that I don't love, I don't hate. Her upper extremity, it has Fearless Nikki, and like I mentioned on that Basic 52, she has a black border to her red, along with little silver rivets that the laces go through. So it actually looks pretty good. This is lacking that. Moving on to the lower extremity, she just has plain black bottoms. We got those socks. This time on the left one it says Nikki, and on the right one it says Fearless, on both sides. And she has red and white sneakers. So this is very iconic to that moment and that night. So it's cool that they made this a battle pack, honestly, but to me the attire is just kind of dull. SummerSlam Basic, released in 2017. The attire is from SummerSlam 2016, which took place on August 21st, where she made a surprise return from injury to compete in a 6-woman tag match on the winning team. So I love this Nikki Bella figure, honestly, and it's my favorite basic of hers, and out of all her figures, it's definitely in my top 3. And what I absolutely love about this figure is it represents that attire she wore in SummerSlam 2016 when she had a surprise return after missing extensive time due to injury. So this is really a monumental moment in her career, and it's memorable, and I'm glad that they have it in figure form. Now, also the attire is great. And looking up close, we still have that face scan. And she has a red hat with a white strap on the back and a white brim that says Stay Fearless. Moving on to her attire, I absolutely love this. So she has a white top that says Stay Fearless. And it'll be really hard to see, folks, but I promise you they're there. Those little silver rivets that were included in her Basic Series 52 figure are here again. And that to me just makes sense. It makes a big difference because then the painted on strings look like they're actually there. So it looks good. The bottoms are just a plain black. And then her socks and shoes are different this time. They're red high socks, and on the left one it says Stay Fearless in two-tone black and white. And on the right one it says Nikki Bella in a black and white two-tone. She also has these white shoes with red details. And then on the back of her top also, it has Bella O2 in a black and red combo there. And then that Bella logo. So yeah, this is a great figure and one of the best Nikki Bella figures out there. Elite Series 71 regular version, released in 2019. The attire is from the Evolution pay-per-view, which took place on October 28, 2018, where she lost to Ronda Rousey, where Ronda retained the Raw Women's Championship. So this was Nikki Bella's very first Elite figure, which is kind of hard to believe that it took so long. Now that being said, there's a lot of new features with this figure, which is awesome. And the most notable one being that new TrueFX face scan. So let's take a closer look at that. So, as you can see, it looks pretty darn good, especially compared to the old scans that were being used. Now, the one thing I'm going to say with this TrueFX face scan technology is it basically prints on the facial features onto a mold. And most of the times it looks great, but in Nikki's case, I saw a lot of figures on the pegs where that printing technique was a little off and it looked horrible. So if you do get this Nikki figure, I would suggest getting it on eBay where you could look closely at the face and make sure it's printed on good. But it looks good. I like that she has this long black hair. And the real good gimmick of this figure that's really unique is she has this Do More Fear Less top that rips open in the front. And underneath is that Bellelution pink and black camo top that she wore on Evolution. And that's really cool. And once again, we got those silver rivets with the string going through, which looks awesome. The bottoms are also very detailed. They're black with little silver studs. And it actually has a red line around that to accent that even more. She has black knee pads painted on, and then she has black socks that are high. The left one says Nikki on the outside and inside, and then the right one says Fearless on the outside and inside. And she has red shoes with white bottoms, and what's really cool is if you look closely at the shoes, it says Fearless on the toes there. So this is her first Elite, and it's really cool. But next I'll show you the Chase. Elite 71 Chase version, released in 2019. The attire, without the hat, is from SmackDown on August 23, 2016, where she took on Carmella. This attire, with that hat included, is from the Talking Smack segment that same night on August 23rd, where Carmella attacked her. So like I mentioned before, when I was doing research on all these attires, it was very difficult because Nikki has red, black, and white in a lot of her attires in just different orders. And I really tried to find the events that had the right shoe matchup, the right bottoms, the right top, and the right hat. And I found with this one, which was my most difficult task, I had to dig up a Talking Smack interview from August 23rd, 2016, where she actually wore this hat, the Stay Fearless red top, and then those shoes were even spot on. So that was kind of cool. It was a lot of fun, but it was cool. But anyway, so taking a closer look, she has that scan once again, and this one turned out great, honestly. The hat looks good, this time in very intricate print. It says, "We run it, we rule it," with the Bella logo there. It's got a white strap, and if you turn it around, it has a white brim, and it says, "Stay Fearless." She has that Do More Fear Less shirt, and bam, we open it up, and it's a Stay Fearless red top. It has those little silver rivets painted on, which I love, with those laces going through. It says Stay Fearless there. The bottoms are just a plain black, and this time she has armbands compared to her other Elite. It's got the Bella logo, and it also says "We Run It." It's going to be really hard to zoom in and see, but it's written very intricately. And then moving down to her socks, it has Nikki on the left sock and Fearless on the right. And these shoes are white with red accents. And like I said, everything from this hat to this top to these white shoes with red accents are exactly what she wore in that Talking Smack segment. So this figure pops. Now that we've covered all our figures, let me rank them in my opinion. So ranking all of Nikki Bella's figures in my opinion. At number 9, we have Battlepack 38. At number 8, we have the WrestleMania Battlepack. At number 7, we have Battlepack 26. Number 6, we have Basic 52. Number 5, we have Battlepack 43. Number 4, we have Battlepack 15. Number 3, we have the SummerSlam Basic. Number 2, we have the Elite 71 Chase. And number 1, we have Elite 71. I hope you all enjoyed the history of Nikki Bella figures. These history videos, I decided that if I make any, they're going to have to be wrestlers that more than likely won't get any more figures. As you can tell, I did the Sasha Banks history figure video, and it's already outdated by 3 figures. So Nikki Bella was a good choice, and it was a lot of fun to put together. So, on that note, thanks for stopping by Lumberjoville. Women's wrestling lives here. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, and join this women's wrestling figure community. Have a good night, y'all.